So it's a little later in the day, but this morning we came out. Today is day 21 of Mama Hen sitting on her babies, and she has 2 chicks hatched. You guys may remember that about 21 days ago we had a broody hen, and it was a whole kind of fiasco. But eventually we got her on 8 eggs, and hoping they were, at least some of them were fertilized, and it's kind of hard to see now, but we have 2 chicks under her, and it looked like 1 chick had hatched, but it was still kind of wet, and it was all still in a corner, so we think it hatched and passed away. And then we have 5 eggs that have not hatched yet. It's possible they still will, maybe, but she's off her nest now, so I'm kind of doubtful whether they will hatch or not, and if they don't, that's kind of what I'm expecting. So we're gonna have Mama with her 2 babies, and I think tomorrow morning we're gonna let them out to free range if no other chicks hatch. And then right next to our new Mama, we have our other broody hen who went broody, I think a week or 2 after our first one did. So she's gonna be due to have chicks hatch in another week or so. So we're looking forward to that. And this broody hen has a red leg band on her leg, which indicates that she went broody last year. So we decided to keep all of our broody hens last year, even though some of them were getting older than the ideal egg-laying age, in hopes that they would go brood again this year. Because even though Australorps are said to be a breed that does go broody more often than others, most of the time our chickens don't go broody. So we like to keep as many broody hens as we can. And it seems like so far this year, at least one of our broody hens from last year is going broody again this year. So hopefully, in addition to being broody herself, she will pass that trait on to her chicks, and they'll be good broody mamas when they grow up as well. And then we have a turkey hen who I noticed this morning just randomly was walking around, and there were about 5 little turkey chicks under her. So we have our hens. They kind of have gone half wild, and in the past they've just been kind of hatching eggs or trying to, and then they get eaten by a predator, and then just kind of like living off in the woods and coming to eat food every once in a while. We collected and hatched a bunch of their eggs earlier this spring, and that's where we got our 7 current turkey poults from. They're now kind of maturing more. But this Mama seems to have hatched a clutch of eggs and kept them safe from predators out in the woods all by herself. And she brought them over this morning, I guess, to eat food, or was just wandering around. It's very possible, though, that someday a predator is going to find her and her chicks, and the babies will die. But for now, we have a mommy with more babies. The next morning, I caught Mama Hen and the babies, and it was a little hard to catch them. But eventually, I got them all out of the brooder, so they can free range from now on. After I got them out of the brooder, I noticed there was a little chick that was still wet from just hatching in the bedding. Mama wasn't sitting on her nest anymore, but this chick must have hatched anyways, and it wasn't very warm, and the mama wasn't going to sit on it and keep it warm till it dried off. So we brought it inside and put it in our incubator to dry off, and eventually the plan was to put it under the Mama Hen as one of her chicks. So as the new chick was drying off, Mama and the other babies were free-ranging. She was scratching and eating things, and she would find a bug or something and call them over, and they'd come eat with her. And she was a very protective mama too. So in that respect, everything was going just great. So I guess it would seem that tonight this Mama Hen decided to camp out right outside the coop and the brooder. The coop is over here, and the brooder is over here. She's just in this little corner in the grass, and sadly that is not acceptable. She has to go in the coop to be protected from the elements and predators, and also to help train the chicks to go in the coop every night, so when they get older they do that on their own. So tonight I'm going to attempt to carry Mama and her babies into the coop, and then we're going to add the incubator chick under her, and then they'll all be one big happy family when we let them out tomorrow. Hopefully that goes as it should. Okay, that was much easier than I expected. The babies were under her wings, so I was able to gently grab her, pinning her wings to her sides with the babies already in them, and move her so no babies got lost or chirped really loud. It was super easy and fast, and it looks like she's settling down in this corner nicely with both of her baby chicks. And now let's add a 3rd one under her. Okay, here we go. That's a baby of yours. Go ahead and adopt it now. Come on, baby. Under there. There we go. I'm not entirely sure if this chick imprinted on her or not, so we'll see how this goes. But hopefully everything goes well, and we'll check back tomorrow morning. The next morning I came into the coop and I found one mama and two babies doing great. But sadly it looked like the incubator chick who we put under her last night had passed away. I don't really know how, but it was just dead. So while that was very sad, I still am glad we have one healthy mama and two healthy baby chicks. And all that day they were free ranging, foraging, eating stuff, being really good, happy chickens. It's nighttime again and it looks like I'm gonna have to bring mama and her chicks in. She does have a ramp. It goes up and then there's a little ramp over there. But I guess she didn't figure it out quite yet. So hopefully this goes okay. Well, like last night, it went really well. I just grabbed her, the babies were under her wings, I pinned them down, and everything's all good now. So good night, Mommy, see you tomorrow. When I opened the door, Mama hopped right out, and one of the chicks followed her. I was really surprised. I hadn't even gotten a chance to put the ramps up yet, but it was out. So I got both ramps set up to help the second chick be able to get out. But the other chick had quite a bit of trouble figuring out how to get out. It was stuck in there and Mama was freaking out because there was one of her chicks outside and one of them was inside, and she kept going back and forth, and I was there waiting for the chick to figure it out, or the mama, to lead him up the ramp. And there were a couple times when he was on the ramp and I was like, just walk forwards and you'll be free. But he kept going back down and wasn't getting out. So I left him there to figure it out, and then I came back later and both chicks were out with Mama foraging, and so not entirely sure how they resolved it, but it was resolved and they're all now nice and happy again. And I think I'm going to end the video here. They're still out there foraging, being great. I am kind of expecting to have to carry them in the coop every night, but that's not a big problem. So Mama and two of her chicks are doing great. It's really fun watching free-range baby chicks. It's much better than brooder raising, I think. And so yeah, they're still out there being happy. I'll update you on any further happenings if there are any, but for now I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for watching.